Horns up and welcome to a brand new episode of Headbanger's Kitchen. Folks, today's video is all about breasts. Chicken breast, that is. Chicken breast is one of the most widely consumed cuts of meat, and with good reason. It's packed with protein and hella nutritious. But chicken breast often gets a bad rap as being tasteless and bland. And that's why today I'm going to show you how to cook chicken breast perfectly so it's succulent and juicy and full of flavor. And we're going to make 3 curry recipes using that chicken breast. We're going to make 1 Korean style curry, 1 Indian style curry, and 1 Thai style curry. And these recipes are great whether you're dining alone with your significant other or to feed a whole family. They're super simple, easy and delicious. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's get cooking. First we're going to make a super easy Korean style curry. A potato and a carrot are my vegetables of choice. I will peel my potato and then chop it into little cubes. This helps it cook faster than if you had big chunks. I will peel my carrot and then chop it up into half moons. I'll also be using frozen peas for this recipe. Now the main ingredient, the chicken breast. I've got a boneless breast with the skin on and this doesn't have the tenderloin attached to it, but if yours does, you'll want to remove that to make the cooking easier. Now I season my chicken breast with salt and pepper on both sides. In a bowl, I will add a tablespoon of Korean curry powder. I'm using a brand called Ottogi and this is the medium spicy one. To that I add 150 ml of water and mix that all up. I'll put a link to order this curry paste in the video description box. Now I set that aside. Now onto the curry. I get my pan on the stove and I heat up some avocado oil. Once that is hot, I lay the chicken skin side down and let it cook. Once you have a nice crust and the skin is lovely and golden, flip that chicken over. Now if you have a skinless chicken breast, no problem, the cooking method and cooking time is the same. I also like to make sure I sear the sides and stand the breast on its head, which helps the cooking process. I will also flip it back over on the skin side now. I will take a reading with my meat thermometer just to check where it's at and then flip it over again. Now you want to cook your chicken to 165F or 74C and the thermometer is pretty accurate. We're also going to be cooking this a little more with the curry, so I remove it from the pan and put it on the side to rest. I add in my potatoes and give them a quick saute before adding some water, covering it with the lid and just letting those potatoes cook for a few minutes. It is important to let the chicken rest and not cut into it immediately. This way it retains all the juices and doesn't become dry. I check in on my potatoes and now I add in the carrots, cover it and let it cook. I leave a little gap for the steam to escape as I want to reduce the liquid in the pan a bit. After a few minutes I pop the lid and in go the frozen peas, then the curry powder and water mixture that we made. Give it all a good mix and now you'll see the curry sauce start to thicken. Once you've got the consistency you want for the curry, we're almost done. I add in any resting juices from the chicken. Now it's time to cut the chicken. I cut right down the middle and look at that, it's freaking perfectly cooked and still juicy. Now if anyone is going to yell, but that's still raw, just calm yourself because I will now cut the breast into cubes and look at that cutting board, no crazy juices flowing over. That's because we rested the breast. Then we add the chicken to the curry and give everything a good mix, and if the breast was even slightly undercooked, it will now finish cooking in the heat. Anyway, that's our Korean style chicken curry ready. I like to serve mine with some jasmine rice and that's pretty much a perfect meal for any day of the week. And as you might notice, I've garnished the dish with some fresh chive, just to look all fancy. Anyway, time to taste. Alright folks, it's time to taste the Korean style chicken curry and let's dive right in. Get some of that rice, some of the carrot, a piece of chicken, and yeah, let's dig in. That chicken is juicy and the curry is flavorful. The carrot still has a bit of bite to it, just like I like it. And this is a perfect meal. Lunch, dinner, even breakfast. It's delicious. I don't really have anything else to say except I hope you will make this and let's get on to the next recipe. Now we're making an Indian style chicken curry. This is a great curry to start your journey into cooking Indian food. Pan on the stove, heat up some ghee, Season the pan with salt and pepper in the shape of the chicken breast and then lay the breast skin side down on the seasoned part of the pan. Now season the other side with salt and pepper as well. After about a minute or two, flip that breast over and now you'll see the most amazing golden brown crust. Just let that cook on the other side. You can see I have an epic crust on both sides, but the inside is still raw, so I lower the heat and I add in my onions. I shift the breast to one side and the onions to the other. And now they can both cook slowly. I add a bit more ghee to the onions and let them saute and start browning, while the other side of the chicken cooks away. Once the chicken has reached the correct internal temperature, I remove it from the pan. Now back to sauteing those onions, and I cook them till they have a nice amount of color. You can make them darker if you like, but this is enough for me, so I add in some ginger garlic paste. And I saute again before adding in my powdered spices. Turmeric, Kashmiri red chili powder, coriander powder, cumin powder and garam masala. Fry for 30 seconds or so before adding in some water, your tomato puree and salt. Bring it to a gentle boil and then cover and cook for about 6 minutes. Time to cut our chicken now that it's well rested, and I will butterfly it. And again, before anyone screams, "That is raw!" just remember that this is going to go back in the curry and finish cooking. So now I cut it lengthwise into strips, and once again look at the board, no crazy juices all over the place. Now pop that lid. You can see that we have a nice thickened curry into which I will add the chicken and give everything a good mix. Let it cook for a minute so that the sauce and the chicken can get to know one another before finishing it with some fresh coriander. Then give it a final good mix so the coriander can join the party, and then the curry is ready after another sprinkling of coriander for the photos. And that is our super easy and delicious chicken breast curry done and ready. We got a plate up now. I will serve that up with some chapati, which is a whole wheat Indian flatbread, but you can eat this however you like. But you can also eat this with my keto naan recipe. Click on the I button to get that recipe. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, let's taste. Hey folks, it's time to taste the chicken curry, and I've got a bit of roti to go along with it. You can also eat it with rice or a naan, no problem. So let's dig in. Get some of that chicken. Make a bite out of it. That is beautifully mild, not too spicy, but so flavorful. The chicken is tender, juicy. This is good stuff. Me like. I'm going to go and eat it now. But while I eat the rest of this, let's go on to the next recipe. Baby corn, mushrooms, bell peppers and broccoli are my vegetables of choice. Chop them up and our vegetables are ready, and you can use any vegetables you like. Now don't be ashamed to use store-bought paste. Green or red, either will do. Did you know that green curry is spicier than the red curry? Anyway, I'll be brave and use the green one. For this recipe, I will butterfly the raw chicken breast, which means I will cut it horizontally at the thicker part and then flatten it out, because of which it will literally cook in 3 to 4 minutes. I kid you not. Anyway, season it with salt and pepper on both sides. Pan on the stove and then lay that chicken breast skin side down when the pan is nice and hot. Now let it cook for about 2 minutes. If you look closely, you'll see the pink flesh turning white around the sides of the bird. That means it's cooking and it's now time to flip the breast. So I do flip it, and just look at that gorgeous crust we've got on it. And now literally 90 seconds and this breast will be fully cooked. You don't need the thermometer for this one. Remove it from the pan. Now add a bit more oil. Add in my curry paste, about a tablespoon, and then I'm going to fry that for a bit. I will now add in the mushrooms, broccoli and corn because those take the longest time to cook. So saute them for 30 seconds. Season with salt before deglazing the pan with water. I will use the spoon to scrape the fond at the bottom of the pan, and that's all those brown bits at the bottom where all the flavor is intensified. Anyway, cover it now and cook it for about 2 minutes. Pop the lid open and in go the bell peppers, then the coconut cream or milk, a couple of splashes of fish sauce, and some honey or stevia to sweeten, depending on what diet you're on. And now let it simmer while we cut the chicken. I cut the breast into strips, and look how perfectly cooked that is, my friends. Just look at it. Now I cut the breast into small cubes and then add it back to the pan. Give everything a good mix before I finish it with some fresh basil. And then of course you give it the final good mix. And our super easy, healthy and delicious Thai curry is ready. Now, since I'm not on any particular diet, I eat mine with jasmine rice. But once again, if you are keto or low carb, cauliflower rice is your friend. Click on the I button to learn how to make it. Anyway, enough jibber jabber, time to taste. Alright, folks, it's time to taste our chicken thigh curry. Let me dive in. Oh, yeah. It's got a bit of a kick though. A little spicy. I should have used a little less curry paste to make it slightly less spicy, but it's packed full of flavor. Delicious. It's not like inedibly spicy, but you know me, I'm a spice food, so I would have liked it a little less spicy. But still so good. And it's so healthy. There's so many veggies, there's chicken, there's rice, yum. And of course, if you're keto and of course, if you're keto, don't have regular rice, have cauliflower rice. But yeah, this dish is a winner if you ask me. And I hope you've enjoyed this series, these 3 different curry recipes. I hope you're going to make them at home. Let me know how they turn out. And if you want to see more such series like this one, let me know in the comments below. Anyway, till the next episode, cheers and keep cooking. This food has been brought to you by the wonderful people who support me on Patreon and here on the YouTube channel memberships. If you would like to join the Headbangers Kitchen community, consider subscribing to my Patreon or to the YouTube channel memberships. Anyway, enough jibber jabber. Oh yeah.